Well, hello ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Rider Ramblings. It's about 2 weeks now since I was last out on this bike. It's not been very good, unfortunately. The weather's not been good, and so on, so it's about 2 weeks. Anyhow, we've supposedly got a better day today, so we will see what's what. It's supposed to be clearing up. It's supposed to be clearing up during the day. The roads are a little bit wet, and I've got bridgestones on, which are not the best in the wet. I wonder what Charlie's doing here. I would prefer something else, but not to worry. On the tyres. Yes. So, what has happened in the last 2 weeks? Well, basically nothing. It's been all work, and not very good. So just work. But interestingly, I mean, I went round to my girlfriend's parents, who are in their 90s or just about. One's 91 or 92 and the other one's 89 or 90, something like that, so they're quite old. And the reason I went was because they have a number of light bulbs out, and you can't really ask them to climb ladders and things like that to change light bulbs. So I went round, and these halogen lights, which last about 10 minutes, I think, if I remember rightly, before they need replacing, and give out a lot of heat. And the shades that they had on the light system was just trapping the heat, so these things were lasting less than 10 minutes on that. So went off to the local DIY shop and found a bunch of LED bulbs for about 10 euros. About 10 quid. They were about 11 euros, so about 10 quid. For 3 of them. Put them in. Absolutely fantastic. They really are. I was amazed. The light that they give out is exactly the same as the halogen. I mean, if you really do study it, you can actually just see a very slight difference. But I mean, it's so minor that, you know, to be mostly unnoticeable on that. So, quite impressed. Anyhow, these things were expensive. As I say, for 3 of them, they were 11 euros, about 10 quid. But they're guaranteed for 5 years. So, and they're 1.9 watts each instead of the massive amount that the halogens were putting out. I can't remember what the halogens were, but they were certainly more than 1.9 watts. Missed that gear there. That wasn't very clever, Lavelle. I wonder what Charlie's doing. So we have reduced their electricity bill because I put all 3 in. And it's part of a light unit which has six lights in, so we changed 3. And I shall be out to buy another 3 very shortly for when the others go. And that's that. Anyhow, the big news is that there's a recall on the Yamaha FJRs. Now, this is not a little recall. This is a huge recall, and you might notice I'm actually on the bike at the moment. It seems that under certain circumstances, second gear can go AWOL, or what actually happens is you get jammed in second gear or something like that, and it'll seize the rear tyre. So I'm in third at the moment, just in case. And I was looking at what they actually have to do to replace it, according to the worksheet that they've sent to the Yamaha dealers, and it is quite horrendous. They've actually got to dismantle the gearbox, and Charlie Farley there. Yeah, they've got to dismantle the gearbox, and to do that they've got to take the engine out, and I think there's something like 17 pages of instructions. What has to be replaced, what has to be checked, what things that you need to be very careful with for one reason or another. Things like washers that can get stuck and this type of thing. So it's an interesting one, and I would bet that it's going to take probably 1.5 days per motorcycle. I would bet it's about 1.5 days per motorcycle, which is quite a lot. And yeah, I say I was lucky enough. Somebody actually sent me the worksheet that they have to do 17 pages, as I say. Absolutely crazy amount of work that they have to do to change this gear, second gear, and then after they've done that, they have to reflash the BIOS. Not the BIOS. Sorry, I'm a computer person. The ECU. I'm too used to reflashing BIOSes. So they have to, so that you don't put down quite as much power in second gear. I think they're limiting the power that you can put down in second on that. And they sent this out. They sent out my notice by registered post, so to make sure I did get it. So I did, and a day later I got a second registered notice from Yamaha. It seems that the brake light switch can stick on, and so leave the brake light on and cause the cruise control not to work and various other things that the computers are now looking at through a tiny little switch. So at the same time as they do this complete engine disassembly, so basically they're taking most of this bike apart. Congratulations, Monsieur Idiot. Brainless. Anyhow, so yeah, they've got to take most of the bike apart, which is Fortunately, I've got GPS telling me I'm coming into a speed check area. So, oops, hole in the road. So yes, anyhow, so I need to pop over to the Yamaha dealer and get that done. Now, with the amount of work that they need to do, I don't want to be bike number one in there. I want them to be able to practice on somebody else's bike before they do mine, and find the gotchas, which, although the gotchas are all listed in the worksheet that they've been given. And they have been listed. I'm certain that they'll need to practice a few times. Now, I do know that they did have 2 or 3 FJRs in for sale in the dealership, so I'm going to assume that they sold those, because I haven't seen one recently. God, this road is terrible. I haven't seen one in the dealership recently. Now, that could be it's been shipped elsewhere. So that is a possibility. So we will see. So I think I shall wait until after the Christmas holidays before I wander down there and book her in. I don't know how prevalent this problem is. My bike's done, 8,600 kilometers, which is not very much. I don't tend to ride like a bat out of hell. I tend to be more circumspect. So I'm not revving it like mad in second gear. But so hopefully it won't go on me. If it does, you'll probably see me lying in the middle of the road. I've put on 10 pounds in weight. I'm definitely unhappy at this. I really am. 10 pounds in weight. I can feel it on the bike. Not sitting comfortably. Not happy at all. So, the sooner we get this situation solved, the better. 10 pounds. Come on, Scenic. Belching out diesel fumes that smell terrible. It's better. A bit over the top, but that thing stinks. Really does. And they're pretty strict on the emissions testing in France, but you do have 2 years between MOT tests in France, so instead of the 1 year that you get in the UK. So you do see a few more vehicles, or a few more smoky vehicles than you probably would do. I noticed Waze hasn't fixed the bug on their maps for the speed cameras. It's still showing that I'm in a average speed zone. So and the only thing you can do is stop Waze and restart. I need to buy some screen-friendly gloves. These ones, which are Gore-Tex and still have a bit of life left in them. Not much, but they do have a bit of life left in them. I'd rather not stop using them just yet. They've got probably another winter to go. And the only thing I ever use the phone for on the bike is to check the speed in a particular area. So that's what it's used for. It's I don't actually use it for the I don't use it for navigation on this bike. I do sometimes use it for navigation on the other bike. If I'm going somewhere in Paris, but on this bike it's very, very rare that I'll actually use it for navigation. I thought they said it was supposed to be getting better today. Look at that cloud! Maybe I'm going in the wrong direction. But it's supposed to be coming from over there, and that's where the good weather's supposed to be coming from. And look at the cloud. I'm not impressed. Definitely not impressed. So now I probably won't get any speed camera warnings because of the bug in Waze. Never mind. A lot of out-of-town cars at the moment, which always makes for some interesting riding. Just turn the heated grips on a little bit, just give me a bit of warmth. Yes, the sun has broken through. Not sure. I think I might just turn west, a bit further down. I was going to go south and west, but I'm actually on the wrong side of the river for this. On the east side of the river, and of course there aren't that many bridges for me to use, so I think I'll nip onto the Francilian, which will take me across the river, and I'll disappear off to the west, I think, where the good weather is supposed to be coming from. In theory, we'll see. DB Motos. So I might have to put my leggings on. I've just got jeans, my aramid jeans on at the moment, so it's I may have to get my leggings on because it is a bit cool on the old knees. So we'll have to see. See. It's long nights these when you've got a red ban for no crossing. Don't know why. I wish they'd have the orange, the amber, red and amber on French systems, but they don't. So all of a sudden it just goes red-green and you zoom off. Whereas the red and orange sort of tells you, okay, you can put your vehicle into gear and then you can go, which is I think is much more useful, but yes, never mind. So not this roundabout, but the next roundabout, I think. Nip off. West. This is one of those strange French systems. It's 80 on this side, but it's 90 on the other side. That's kilometers an hour, not miles per hour, by the way. So why is it 80 on this side and 90 on the other side? It's because that's 2 lanes, good grief, and this is only 1 lane. I have to open the vent, I'm afraid. Even with the pin lock, it's starting to steam up a bit. So I've got Bridgestones on. I have no faith or trust in Bridgestones, I'm afraid. In the wet. In the dry, they're beautiful. But in the wet, forget it. Feels better. A little bit over the limit. Just bring the speed down. Let's see. 121 indicated. About 110 actual. Speed is right, let's try that. Got cruise control on. Renault playing silly buggers behind. You could well have cruise control on as well. You have to lift the screen. Right, so 119 indicated. 110 on the GPS. Broken down. You see that there's a lot of Chris Rea jokes going around at the moment for Christmas in the UK, or not, as the case may be. A6. That's where I want to go. Well, not the A6 per se, but that's where the bridge is over the Seine. They did say the weather was supposed to be getting better in the west, or from the west, should I say. Well, at the moment I'm going due south. Which is probably not the best thing. Quickly behind, I'll let him go through. Vous êtes sur le Francilien, I know. Sort of travels not quite all the way round for some reason. This happens a lot not actually in Paris. The ring roads aren't actually a pure ring. The Périphérique is. That is a pure ring. But the Francilian sort of peters out at some point near Plaisir or somewhere like that. Is it Plaisir? A bit further south than Plaisir. But it sort of peters out and stops. And it's, so you can pick it up again sort of in the north of Paris, but what you're supposed to do in between, I've got no idea. And the A86 to a certain extent is a little bit the same, but they've actually, they're a bit better with the A86 because it is actually a ring road, but it just changes its road number from the A86 to the N186 and then back to the A86 and things like that. It's, again, absolutely no idea why they would do that, but there's obviously a good idea, good reason. Uh-oh. Looks like we've got a lot of traffic up ahead for some reason. Can't see why. According to Waze, it's not good. Not at all. Coombs-la-Ville. Sorry, I'm steaming up again. Don't know why. As I say, I've got pit lock on, but for some reason I'm steaming up. So I've had to open the vent at the front. The vent at the top is open to let the air out. I think it's because of these stupid masks that we're going to wear while we're on the bike. Now, I do agree with masks in general. And their use is good, but on a motorbike, on a motorway, you know, I'm not going to be within 2 meters of somebody. Well, it's very unlikely unless I'm going through their window or something like that. The chances of me being, you know, within 2 meters of someone is rare. With the, I'm just trying out, sorry, I'm trying the screen out to see, because I've got the vent open, to see what the, where you can hear the difference in the noise. It's definitely a lot louder. I don't know how wet this is. As I say, I've got no confidence whatsoever in Bridgestones when it's wet. Unfortunately, it's just one of those things. I've had a couple of interesting moments with them, so we'll have to stop at some point and put a snood on. Anyhow, I'm going to shut up and I'll leave the camera running in case there's anything interesting happens, but it was very good to speak to you. I hope you have a good run up to the festive season at the end of this week and that you're able to do everything that you want to do. I hope so. I'll speak to you soon.